Well, it is Saturday, November 13th. Welcome to the show. Yours truly, Drake Swift, Alex Sportsmouth. How are you? How's your Saturday morning going? Can you hear me?
My Saturday morning is great so far.
That's good.
We had some technical difficulties, but we're doing
You're
good now.
You're good. I know she was trying to do it on her Mac and stuff like that. So, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on. I know that you were pretty excited because there were some people from Ford that was going to watch. Hopefully, you were able to share the link. So, if you want, I could put it in the description. But were you able to get that link out?
I was. Hopefully, I was successful in doing that. But if you could get that link out, that would be great.
Yeah, if you're a friend of Christina and you're watching, chime in and say hello. Let us know you're there.
Let us know you're there. So tell me, I know we wanted to bring you on the show. You speak a lot about mental health, but tell me a little bit your story. I know you have a pretty interesting story. So tell me who you are. And then tell me, what you're doing, and I know you're talking and speaking.
Normally, I don't like to live in the past because it's important that you don't. But in order to,
transition,
to figure out where I, transition to where I've come. Basically, I found myself in a bad spot, and I mentally, I allowed myself to be labeled with depression, anxiety. And it plays a toll on you, obviously. And I allowed that to control my life and my lifestyle. And I got into a depressed state and a very dark place. And I basically one day was like, I'm gonna crawl out of this hole without the help of anybody. I'm gonna figure out how to do it myself. Sorry. And so I started one day and I never looked back. It was all about me. I started listening to positive affirmations. I started listening to positive motivational speeches. And I never looked back because it's very possible to retrain your thought process and to get get yourself into a happy place. You don't have to stay in a depressive state, but I was in one, and I decided that I wasn't going to live like that anymore. I was always looking at the negative, and changing your mindset. We're hardwired. We think the same thoughts all the time, and it's important to change them up. It's important to listen to something or to change your mindset. Basically, you're just changing old habits and replacing them with new positive mental habits.
Makes sense. We lost Alex. So, when you say you were in a dark place, did you lose a family member?
At the time when that happened, I actually had two parents who were very sick and they were passing away. Okay. And to be dealing with that, you're on. I worked all day. From work, I went straight to the hospital, and I continually did that for years. And I didn't really realize the toll it was taking on me until after they passed away. And they both passed away the same year. We basically had them in rooms basically right next to each other. So you really don't know what you're going through when you're going through it. And then after they passed away is basically when I hit that dark place. I had so much time on my hand because I went from such a busy schedule and taking care of them, with the rest of my family members, to having so much time. And when I did have that time is when I pretty much went into that dark, space.
Okay. And then, so you just said you just started listening to positive things. Like, were you listening to people talking? Was it conversational? Was it, were you listening to motivational tapes? What were you listening?
It was motivational. I'll be honest with you. One night, and in such a dark place that I honestly and a lot of people don't know this about me, but if I'm going to put my story out there, I basically didn't want to live anymore. I was at a place where I was literally leaving a note. I was done with life, and what I did is I prayed. Honestly, I prayed to God and said, just get me through this night, and I will do everything in my power to get myself. I will take responsibility for where I am, and tomorrow I will get up. I literally went on YouTube. I went on to the first motivational speech that I saw and listened to daily affirmations. And I promised myself that I would do this every single day, because you have to be consistent with it. You have to want to change. So I was consistent with it. And every day I listened to something positive. I started my day with thank yous. I literally got up. I said, thank you for the ability to have a thought process, to be able to go to work, so I gave thanks right away. And as soon as you do that, it starts to change things in you. And then from there, I would put on a motivational speech, whether it be Wayne Dyer or Les Brown, your Denzel Washington's. I listened to Denzel Washington's speech every single day for the last 4 years. I don't skip a day. I know it by heart. But once you start putting that in your thought process, it becomes a habit. And again, you're replacing bad, negative thoughts with positive thoughts. Just like you listen to a song and it comes on the radio, you know all the words by heart. And subconsciously you're taking all this in, and that's it. And what you put in your mind is what you think throughout your day. And eventually it starts affecting your body. It starts affecting your mood, your personality. So, like I said, I never looked back, and it changed everything for me.
So when you were in that dark place, did you have friends or relatives reach out? You said you were leaving notes.
I was, and I've never been, I've always been a very personable person. I kind of shut people out. I was invited to do things. I would never leave my house. You get in your comfort zone, and you get so comfort, it's almost like a rabbit hole. And I never wanted to do anything. So the more I stayed in that place, the deeper I got. I just didn't want to do anything, and I was comfortable in my home. I was comfortable not talking to anybody or doing anything. And it becomes, like I said, a slippery slope. And that's basically how I got to where I was, because studies show that 90% of our thoughts today are exactly what we thought yesterday. So if you don't make a change, then nothing's going to change. If you don't change what's in your thought process, then nothing is going to change.
You're dead meat.
You're dead meat, basically. Yeah, you have to you have to stay consistent. You have to want to make that change. And who wants to stay in a bad place,
Right.
So in that particular day that it was one of your darkest days, what was your thought process when you were going through that? Was there a light bulb that went off in the middle of the night? Because that was probably the longest day of your life, right?
It really was. Well, the light bulb was, it's literally do or die. Like I basically didn't want to live anymore. And that's a very scary state, of mind. And, something did go off, and, and whether you believe it's the universe or whether you believe in God, I just spoke to God, and I promised that if he got me through that night, that I would do everything I could to, you have to help yourself. You have to want to help yourself. You have to want to change. And I said, I don't want to live. A bulb did go off. I didn't want to live like that anymore. I wanted to live happy. I didn't want to be depressed and sad every day. So that was just a scary, it was a scary night, because I was ready to just end it all, basically.
And how many years ago was that?
That was about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since then, you've been talking about mental health, because a lot of people in today's society, it was kind of a, it was 10, 15 years ago. People don't like to talk about it, right? It's very taboo. People don't like to talk about it. If you go see a psychiatrist, I didn't go see a psychiatrist for a long time, but I went through a tough marriage. and in a tough divorce. So I had to talk to somebody like, oh my God, I got to talk to somebody. But it always, for a man, it was always for me was, does it make you look weak? Does it make you look weak that you're talking to somebody, right? So, like I said, you got that taboo. Was it difficult to tell your story? Did you actually, once you did, come from that dark night, did you end up actually talking to somebody? Did you have a therapist? You know what I mean?
I did speak to somebody. And I found, some people think it's, think it works for them, and that's great. For me, I decided to take it on myself because I found more results. It was great talking to somebody. I come from a big family, and I could have talked to any one of my siblings, and I did, even though it was hard to put it on, one sibling, I did. And, but I found that finding the motivation in the things that I heard worked better for me than just talking to somebody, because I didn't want to keep going over what was wrong. I wanted to get past what was wrong, and I wanted to start working on healing. And I felt like if I kept talking about what was bothering me, or what hurt me, or what took me to that place, that I would always live in that place. So I wanted to let it go. It's important to let it go and move on to the present. And
don't you want, as a therapist, or if you go talk to somebody, don't you want to find the root of the problem so you can try to repair it?
Well, I think deep down inside, we all know what the root of the problem really is. I think we all kind of know what's ailing us. So I pretty much already knew what the root of the problem was. So I worked on healing that. You can't go back and change your past, unfortunately. All you can do is work on being a better person in your present and getting stronger. So I'm not one that likes to go back into my past and dwell on it, because it's what's done now is done. And now it's time to heal.
Right. So when you see today's societies, on social media, even in the NFL, we've made, leaps and bounds with mental health, right?
Correct.
We still got a long way to go. But do you see that society has changed when you see, like I said, the NFL has a commercial, where they know that the NFL players suffer, hits and, CTE and, all this stuff. And people, get depressed and they get anxiety and all this stuff. So when you see some of this stuff, are you surprised how much that society, because you see, kids committing suicide on social media because, whatever the case may be, but this is a pretty big topic now in society, because they know that people are dying, people are depressed, and now people are seeing it. But do you see the biggest, is that surprising to you, the way society has changed?
No, the way society has changed toward looking at mental illness, like in a positive way.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. No. I think that people are more open to talking about it now. I think it's important to know that everybody has their struggles. Everybody has their demons. And some people, it is hard for some people to talk about it, but I think it's important that people know there's always a way, whether they do it the way that I did or to reach out to somebody, but everybody has their struggles, right? So I think that, especially with the pandemic, it forced people to stay in their houses. It made people who were already alone feel more alone. But I would like to see more about mental awareness and
there was so much that hi, by the way.
How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for joining us. But when you touched on the pandemic, there was so much that went into that. They're being forced to stay home. Now they're becoming teachers to their children. They're not going to work, or they're having to work from home and juggle all these things. And then on top of it, add the death of the friends and the family and the death they keep seeing on TV. That maybe they might not even know these people, but they're dying from it. And they might have already had some kind of issues prior with this, just stresses of life.
Correct.
So there was so much that the pandemic brought on top of normal, you would think, issues, or and now they could have been dealing with grief, and now they have all these other things, because someone had said to me, it's kind of, you're grieving a life that you lost as well.
Correct.
So, when we think of grief, we think somebody dies, right? But these are things that died, or hopes that died, or so it's a lot of grief, of grief on top of all the other things. So yeah, definitely.
That's why it's so important every day to stay consistent in listening to something positive. People think that, I mean, it is so important. I mean, even if you're having a bad day, we get labeled with depression and anxiety, and we believe these labels, but it's really they're diseases, right? They're dis-ease inside of us, and we accept these labels. And honestly, we don't have to, because it is so easy. It sounds easy. It takes a lot of consistency and hard work, but it's so easy to change your mindset. It's easy to, it's like breaking any other habit. The more you take in the negativity and the more you wallow on that, that's how your day is going to go. That's how your personality is going to be. That's how your actions are going to, but if you,
and I understand, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I understand, because I go through things myself, and currently I'm going through something, and something you said struck me, and it reminded me, and I want to thank you, because for a very long time, every morning I woke up and I said thank you. I made it a point to say thank you before my feet hit the ground. And lately I've been waking up a little sad, and I have to get myself back in that mind frame to say thank you every day. I would tell my son, give me 10 things you're thankful for, right? And he would just start naming like dumb stuff. I said that's fine, or but he would say the sunshine and the palm trees and the this and the that, right? But even we all fall into a pattern sometimes where it's like the negative thoughts might seep in. Whatever happened to you the day before, or whatever's currently happened to you, can stay there. But I truly believe that it's okay. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to acknowledge these feelings. Just don't unpack and live there.
Right. Just don't stay there. Everybody's going to have a bad day. Even I have, bad days. And
you might even have a bad week, but you gotta.
You have to bounce back. You have to make sure, and it's your responsibility, because your belief in yourself is basically all you have. People can think, everybody has their opinions of you, but honestly, that's what people think of you is none of your business. It's none of our business. It's what we believe in ourselves.
It's their business.
It's their business. It's really none of our business. It's our own responsibility things might not be your fault as to why you got where you are, but it's your responsibility to pull yourself out. It's your responsibility. You owe it to yourself to be happy. We weren't just born to, work a job, whether we like it or not, pay bills, and that's it. You have to find the happiness in the in-between. It's really important to balance that out.
I always say to try to find the positive in the negative, because there is one. Even if, like, and what you said is what caused you to get there may not be your fault, which I think it goes a lot hand in hand with the pandemic stuff. And even, dealing with grief of a death of a loved one, maybe not caused from the pandemic, but just in general, those things aren't your fault. But to, recognize that there's still positives in the negative, and you have no choice but to search it out. It's your responsibility.
Absolutely. And once I began, personally speaking, on this spiritual journey, if you will, and I started to listening to positive things, and I started my day like that. And like I said, I wake up every morning and I give thanks, and I listen to the same Denzel Washington. He gave a speech, I believe it was to Dillard University. And what was it, and it still tears me up, and I've listened to it hundreds of times. He says in his speech, when you go to sleep tonight, I hope that you put your slippers way under the bed, so that when you wake up in the morning, you have to get on your knees to reach them. And when you do, give thanks. And I do that. So and after I do that, I listen to something positive. And I told you I do this every day. Well, I didn't just notice a change in myself. I noticed a change in everything around me. Because, you know,
Absolutely.
I noticed a change in how I react to things.
Yeah.
5 years ago, I was
Well, you're
quick.
omitting it. You're omitting a
Right.
different frequency at that point. And so when you
Absolutely.
admit a different frequency, you know, it's the law of attraction. It's going to come back to you in tenfold, and the things around you are going to open up, and the opportunities, and it's kind of like opening a closed blind. You know, the sun is going to peep through. The more you open it, the more sun is going to come through.
Yes. And then all of a sudden, the things that used to bother you, they don't bother you like they did before. And your reactions to people have changed, because now you're in a thought process of, well, I wonder what their day is like. And you don't react. I don't react like I used to at all. Before, I was very on the defensive. I was already had an answer for somebody before they finished their sentence. I was quick to pop off at the mouth. I was very defensive. And now I think about, I wonder what they're going through. It just makes you a kinder person.
Now you're thinking about help. How can you help someone
how
else?
can I help them? What is
Yeah,
going
you
on
think
with
from a
them?
third person, I feel like.
Right.
And I can say, you know, for myself, like I said, I'm going through some things. So I find myself falling back into old patterns where I'm like, nope, this isn't right. You stop, you know, and I'm guilty of it. I'm probably guilty of it yesterday. You know, some things happen and I'm like, you know, reacting a certain way that I worked so hard to get out of that pattern. And you know, sometimes you just got to reel yourself back in and say, you know, your reaction, that reaction is it's differently warranted. You don't need to do this. You don't need to entertain that. But you're so right with that. You know, there's certain things that you look back and you go, the old me, man, the old me used to would have just let that go, right? We'd have just went wound up. No, we'd have popped off. We would have made sure they all knew. We'd have flipped shit over.
Absolutely. Born and raised in Detroit, so it's in me. You know?
Same, right? Same. We all got it in us. So though, like you know, and there's days where I'm like, man, they're lucky this isn't the old me. But now you start to think, okay, why is this person? I wonder why they're doing this. And I always find myself looking from a third party now, you know, trying to, okay, they must be really going through some things. What's happening with them? Do you need a hug? Do you need a hug?
And then you come to realize that they're not in the place that you are, and they haven't began their healing, and they're still in a state of, you know, of negative thoughts and
distress.
Right. So yeah, absolutely. But when you train and like I said, when you stay consistent with it, it sounds like it is the easiest thing to do, but it's hard as far as changing the habits. But once
the consistency is, I think, the hard,
right. Or once you do,
I think too, people just need guidance, and you know, to them they might sound funny by saying 30 lines in the morning, you know, your affirmations that speak in the present tense. Because I know when I started affirmations, I was like, this is dumb, right? I am not skinny. Why am I saying I'm skinny? Why am I saying I'm happy? I am not happy right now. Why am I saying But then you start saying them because this is where your goal is or what you want to achieve. So you say it in the present tense, you know, the fake it till you make it kind of thing. Right. But you become it, right? You're like, okay, let me just omit this energy. Like it already is me. So for your affirmations, do you listen to them or do you make your own, and do you have them memorized?
At this point, I make my own, and sometimes they're different, but I most definitely always start the day with, I thank you for, you know, I'm able to have a thought process. I'm able to feel, I'm able to walk. My job, and I have to give a shout out to Ford because they just, you know, I went to Corey, the plant manager, and I told him I wanted to implement something in Ford, you know, because there's so many people who work there, and you just don't know what everybody's going through in their everyday. And it's important to let them know that they have a support system, especially in the workplace. And he pretty much plastered this all over the monitors at work and put it on the blue oval. So a shout out and a thank you to him, because everybody needs to, you know, could use the help in getting out
That's,
of
I'm surprised.
that's awesome.
So just real quick, so Ford doesn't have programs for. There's not a counselor on site. There's not.
There is a counselor on site, but I believe that he is, and don't quote me because I don't know. I haven't seen him, but I believe what he does is helps you with some time off if you want to take like a stress medical, and he will give you numbers to people who can help you. But as far as implementing something that you can go as a group and speak, I don't know, but I think that they might be trying to work on something right now. Which helps because some people don't do well with one-on-one. I'm uncomfortable with it. I would rather be in a group setting because it feels good to know that, wow, these people around me know exactly what I'm going through. They feel the same thing. So I would like to see something like that implemented. But you definitely, what you put into your thoughts is what you become. I think that when it hit me so profoundly is, there's this man, his name is Dr. Joe Dispenza. I don't know if you've heard of him before. You can see him on Gaia TV, I believe. Well, he did a test just to show how powerful of an organ and a muscle that your brain is that he did a test with 6 children who had like chronic asthma. And with each of these children, he gave them an inhaler, and each inhaler had a touch of cinnamon in it. But only 3 of them had water. So 3 of them did not contain the albuterol, I think that's the medicine that opens up. Yeah. So when each of them had an asthma attack, they each used it, and it proved to be effective for each and every one of them. Why? Because they put that in their brain that they were taking something that was going to help them. They truly believed when they took this inhaler that it was going to help their asthma attack, and it did. And 3 of them were truly just water and cinnamon. So what you put in your brain, your body will react to, and it truly is like it's like the motherboard of your body, and what you put in your brain, your body believes, and it exudes it, you know,
the placebo effect.
The placebo effect. And
starts,
it's so true. That's why if you continually put positivity and in your mind, it's just what you become. It's how you act. It becomes your personality. And you just look at things differently. And there's so many different, you know, I had to write some things down because you could go, I could go on, and there's different levels. But
I would love to pick your brain. I swear. I swear.
There's so many different levels.
Yeah. So I heard this thing yesterday, and I thought this was really cool. And I don't know if you've already heard this or not, but in regards to affirmations. So say you know, because affirmations, a lot of times, like I said, people are like, this isn't true. Why am I saying these things? Right. But you're automatically omitting the I can't vibration when you say those things, if you don't truly believe it. But when you believe it, you omit a different frequency. So I was listening to, and now I can't remember, and I don't have my phone in front of me, this author yesterday. I listened to a lot of audios, a lot of audibles, and he said, when you write your affirmations, say you have 15 of them, do 5 of them that already happen, 5 of them that are present, and 5 of them that you want in the future, and jumble them up. Don't have them in that order. So when you're saying them, say the first one is something that already happened. So you're already omitting that frequency of guarantee that it already happened. And then the next one will be something you want in the future, but you're already vibrating at that frequency of something that already happened. So you don't have that doubt in your mind.
Exactly.
And he said, write them out 5, 5, 5, and then write a new list and stagger them with them following each other so that you're already omitting something that you knew happened. So if, for instance, say you moved into an apartment and you loved this apartment, you put that in there. Thank you so much for the apartment I moved into that I absolutely love. You already know that happened. Now say the next one is, you know, you want to be a promotion, but you're doubting it, but you follow it up with that. Thank you for the promotion that I have. You're already omitted because of the apartment affirmation or whatever you're giving thanks for. So it kind of keeps you at that frequency. And I was like,
Yes.
oh, that's such a brilliant way to stack your affirmations.
Absolutely.
Like it really is.
Absolutely. It is. It is. And it's important that you do that because because if you don't program what goes in your mind, society will do it for you.
Yeah.
The
And we
world
all
will
have
do it
self-doubt.
for you.
Yeah, we all have
Right.
self-doubt.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Everybody
you're
does.
right, it will do it for you.
The world will do
So
it for you anytime. I don't watch the news. I'm not
me neither.
I won't watch it because it's just
Do you watch
allowing me to put
TV?
something in my thought. I do. I'll watch like
Yeah.
Netflix or series like that.
I never watch any TV anymore.
Yeah.
Ever since I started affirmations and just positive energy, that people get so mad at me. They're like, you never fucking watch any TV. I'm like, I don't even know how to use my TV.
Yep.
So I'm kind of curious, Christina. So for a person like me, I'm very positive. I'm kind of happy-go-lucky. I don't really, I'm blessed. I don't go through some of that stuff that society goes through. I don't know what it is. I just have a certain demeanor that I'm always positive, right? I'm always happy, always smiling. I know I don't listen to those.
It comes easy for some people.
Happy.
It's easy for me, right? I'm like, hey, I get it. Yeah, so
whatever.
I don't really know
whatever.
I don't really. So if I listen to some of this stuff, does that make you better? You know what I mean? Would that make you better as a better person?
Even if you are in a good spot, it's good to put something positive in your ear because it wakes up those happy receptors in your brain, and it most definitely affects your day. So even if you are already a happy person, it almost gives you that extra, energy and a good vibe around you, and it just opens up things. I mean, when you come to this place and you're all in it, like I said, it doesn't mean you're not going to have bad days, and you're always happy and you're looking at things in a positive way. You'll notice signs that the universe will give you that you're on the right path that you probably weren't receptive to before because you weren't in that mind frame. But most definitely, even if you're a positive person, they help. It makes you look at things a little bit different, and makes you look at people different, I would encourage you to most definitely
I think it also, if you have the traits like Drake where you're able to just those things don't bother you, you don't have this negative talk in your head, there's no self-doubt, none of these things, right? I don't think it'll help you, but also I believe it will help the relationships of other people that are coming into you, like we spoke about, it changes the things around you. So even though you're happy, you might not have the most happiest people around you in it, maybe not your immediate circle, but just that you come in contact with. So I think that also will create positive lines of energy with other people and other opportunities in your life as well.
Oh, absolutely. It's so funny because I was reading something yesterday that I had wrote when I was just starting my journey of what my intentions were and what I wanted to do. And Enrique, you don't get paid to do the podcast. I'm not paid to do this. It's just we want to reach people. What I want to do is and this is again going off on something else, that my purpose, I believe, is to help people. That's what makes me feel good. That's that feeling inside of me that makes me feel good. So I follow that feel good feeling, and whatever I can do to brighten somebody's day. And it could be the simplest thing, and I might not even know what I said changed somebody's day, but kindness is a big part of this. It just being kind to everybody around you for no specific reason at all. That could also change your day, and it changed the vibes. I mean, it just takes a second to give somebody a compliment, or if you see they're having a bad day, hey, how are you? I mean, it could literally change.
It's contagious.
Life.
Kindness is contagious.
It really is.
It
really is.
Yeah, so, I always tell people, be kind to one another. You never know what the person next to you is going through.
Yes,
you know, and you might have been the only person that had been kind to them that day, that week, that you don't know. So
Yeah.
it's definitely contagious. And
Yes.
and you're definitely a healer for sure.
Yeah, well, thank you. Oh, that's what I got off track. That's what I was going to say. So I read something that I wrote about 4 years ago, and it struck me and it made me teary-eyed because I said I wanted to do exactly what I'm doing today, and that was 4 years ago. And I was in a dark place at the time. I'm like, I want to be in a place where I can talk to people about coming out of, their depressive state and be able to reach people on a platform where, to let them know they're not alone or what to do to get out of this cycle. And that, and that's exactly what I'm doing. If you would have asked me 4 years ago, I would have never thought that I would be doing it.
You spoke it into existence.
I spoke it into existence. Absolutely.
You did.
It's very possible to do that.
I just got goosebumps. You gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it.
I don't know if it was with Alex or with you. Didn't you say that you wanted to start like a podcast? If I remember.
Yes, I've been working on. Yep.
I couldn't remember. Sorry.
Yes.
It's been a while.
She came up to me. I don't know if you remember. I was trying to remember too, but you
did.
I don't know if I mentioned it to you when we was working together.
Or
I think you came up to me and asked me.
I did.
I want to get going. Can you help me? And I was like, I said, yeah, of course. Let me talk to my cousin, and it took us a minute to get you on, but you're here now, so
And everything happens.
I told you
we'll
make it happen.
I don't believe you crossed my path for no reason.
No, there are no coincidences.
There are no coincidences.
No.
When we first met, I was working down there on I forgot the name of the job already. The easy job.
The kidding cell.
The kidding cell. They
yes.
kept me down there, and we just started chatting a little bit, and you were like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
The things that I was dealing with, you were like whoa, lost my father, and then you started telling me about your parents, and you were like, wow, this is scary. But a lot of us go through that stuff, and it's like we're human, so that's why we do go through a lot of the same things, and everybody loses somebody, so it's gonna happen. So but yeah, so I was just happy that we were able to get you on here, and
me too.
So you can give you a platform. So everything happens for a reason,
So what's next for Christina? Are you trying to? I know you said that the plant managers, was trying to implement a program. Are you trying to get more involved in that program?
I am.
If they do launch it.
Absolutely. I would love to be involved in that. And I have talked to, somebody in our union as well. And we're going to have to, see how it goes. There's a lot of hoops that they would have to jump through and authorizations they would have to get. So definitely it's something that I talked to them about, and I'm working toward, and hopefully I think they're on the same page. But I'm also trying to get into the old grade schools that I went to in Detroit. One of them called me back. I grew up in Detroit. I went to Stalewagon and Marquette. And what I want to do is I really want to get into those schools and talk to the young kids and let them know basically anything is possible. I don't care your circumstances. I don't care if you're being raised by your grandmother, both parents, one parent. I just our society in Detroit. I'm not saying we're set up for failure, but we don't have the opportunities that a lot of other children have. But I just want to embed in their brain that anything is possible. You can be anything you want to with hard work and dedication and consistency. You can do anything that you want. And I want to get them in a positive frame of mind, because you don't know what they have going on at home. And sometimes just something will just click in them, something that you say could change their lives. So I would like to get in the schools and some outreach programs and talk to the kids, because as adults, we are very hardwired. We're able to change ourselves. We have everything, all these social platforms at our fingertips, and we know what to do, but the kids need a little bit more direction, and that's what I would love to do, honestly, is just to speak to kids in schools and start off there. Yeah.
It's so needed.
Awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, it really is needed.
Yeah, they need a little cheerleader.
Right.
We want to thank you for coming on. I know
thank you.
Going into your afternoon, so I appreciate it. Just reach out to me. I'll definitely help you if you're thinking about doing that. So
I appreciate it.
Hopefully
he can use another show, add another show to the
with the next level. Yes, and then that's following your life's purpose is is something I would love to talk about.
Christina, I'm going to be reaching out to you.
Please do.
Yes.
Please do.
Yes, we need to vibe for sure.
So I want to congratulate you on your journey. Hopefully this is just the beginning. So like I said, thanks for coming on. I know you had some people from Ford reach out to me, so hopefully they watched it and liked it. So
perfect.
If
it's all love.
Yeah. So I know you're not a big on social media, but if somebody needs to reach out to you and they just want to make a friend and talk about their problems, how do they get a hold of Christina?
I mean, they can for right now until because I do have something in the works. They can just instant message me. Honestly, I'm open. I'm open to the public. So anybody who wants to reach out for right now can instant message me. And when I come out with the podcast, you'll be the first to know because maybe you can help me out with that. And they can just reach out through instant messenger.
Okay. Well, you have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
It's not too cold up there. It's going to be 90 degrees here today, so hopefully
I got a fan on me. It's pretty chilly over here. It's chilly, but I got a fan on me.
It is chilly, but the sun
is out. Keep spreading that light, Christina. Keep spreading that light.
Sure.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Have a blessed.
Enjoy your
day. You too. All right. Bye-bye.
Be well. All the vibes. She's great.
I'm happy I got her on. She was like coming up to me like at least once a week, like, did you talk to your cousin? I was like, yeah. I was like, don't worry, it'll happen. We'll get it done.
She's great.
But she was just trying to get things together too. She had told me at times.
I'm gonna end up stalking her.
Good to get her on there. I'm glad I finally got her on here. She wanted to really get that out of her system. So
that's cool.
Keep it going. So for sure.
Thanks for making that connection. So how was your Friday night, Alex?
Good, man. I got some good sleep.
Did you? I didn't sleep good. I didn't sleep good. I was
tossing
so good that I didn't want to get up.
With a bellyache. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I just got over pneumonia, and now I got.
You're probably still sick a little bit, probably.
Shaking it off. Right.
So I didn't sleep good either. I fell asleep on the couch with the most uncomfortable, I got these couch pillows that are like oversized pillows, right? So I fell asleep with like my chin in my boobs and I woke up like all fucked up. And then I made my way to the bed and I just couldn't really fall back asleep after that, like soundly. And then when I did, the alarm went off and I was like, shit. I will say this though, starting an hour later for us is kind of nice. That's nice. I got to hit that 15-minute snooze twice.
So I figured it out moments before I actually did her invite. So the reason why the time wasn't adjusted correct is that you have to select your location. And I'm like, that's so
that makes sense. It's always something simple though.
Yeah, but why doesn't it give you like the time, like, pick your time zone or something?
Right.
Yeah.
Why you have to put your
because Arizona they own shit, so they make you do
Arizona time.
Right. It'll have like all the time zones and then it's like Arizona. Like we're just not even in the time.
I checked with Alex last night. He said it was right. But at 8 o'clock or about 7:45, the thing went off and said, it's your show's in 15 minutes. And I'm like, no, why is it?
Right. It's alerting people.
And I'm like, what? So aggravating with Facebook, but there it is. I guess I figured it out.
I'm not crying today, guys. My eyes are still bothering me. Yeah, it's over. I'm over it.
So, I know we talked about Alex on Wednesday. So 1 million kids got vaccinated. Nati got vaccinated last night. She was so excited.
How's she feeling?
Well, I think last night she said she was a little tired, a little sore. So, I know it's when they had the dose for the 12 to 16 or 12 to 18 or whatever, I know it was a little less, and I think this one's less than the adult COVID vaccine. So,
I guess today and tomorrow will be the real test for her to see.
Well, I think she never had COVID. I think the second shot will be more difficult.
Yes, I was about to ask if she got to get one or two. Okay.
2.
And she's got to wait
Poor
the
little
same,
arm.
like 20, what is it, 21, 28 days?
I think her next shot is like in December or something. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, these kids are getting vaccinated. So.
And it's surging right now again. I keep hearing the numbers are going up. I had a friend yesterday who posted a friend of a friend's uncle passed away, and they thought he was vaccinated, and he wasn't. He worked for the school district. He was, I think, a janitor or something, a superintendent. You know, he did all the maintenance, and I thought in my head, I thought those people who were at the school had to be vaccinated. Do the schools make the teachers and the?
I thought so, but
Evidently,
so I sent you guys a video.
Not.
I was watching Bob Costa last night, and I thought it was a pretty good. I don't like the Dallas's owner, of course, because I just don't like
JJ.
But, yeah, so I'll play this real quick for you. I thought this was perfect. Hit the nail right on it. So here you go.
Who had the following quote? I may be paraphrasing. Look, everybody has individual autonomy and freedom, but when that freedom crosses over to putting someone else in jeopardy, either their health or the objectives of a team, that's where I has to go behind we.
Yeah. Check I at the door, and it becomes we when you hit the locker room.
Isn't that perfect?
Yeah.
That's when I goes behind we.
Yeah.
Wow, Aaron Rodgers. You should have listened to that last night.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving. That's something you should have listened to. That's when you check yourself, because I goes behind we. Wow, isn't that amazing?
It's similar to and I think we were going to talk about it, the Gene Simmons statement. Did you see that as well?
Yeah.
And he's right. People are like, oh, my rights. Well, you have a right to run a red light. You have a right to smoke inside of a building. You have a right to not wear your seatbelt. Do you do those things? No. So it's this delusion, this evil delusion that
Somebody's calling you.
I know, right? Always. But it's this delusion that you're it's your rights, but that's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. And the I needs to go behind the we at that point. He's so right.
Yeah. I mean, do you agree with that statement, Alex? I thought that was pretty moving. And I don't like the Dallas's owner. I really don't. I can't stand it.
No, but he nailed it with it.
Right.
Yeah. I'm over listening to the negative shit.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of like what Christina said.
Joe Rogan saying this and that.
I said, you brought that up, Alex. Well, first of all, like I was going to say, kind of like what Christina said. There's going to be negative stuff, and you don't have to. I think there's a difference between hearing it and absorbing it, right?
Yeah, following up with it.
Right. Well, but this is a national, this is a worldly event. So this is happening to all of us. But we can hear it, we can address it, but we don't need to absorb it and entertain it, right? Kind of thing, I guess.
And and that's why you guys say you don't watch. That's not the specific reason, but it's one of them. You guys say you don't watch TV, so
no.
You don't see all of that. That's a good
I
thing.
don't watch TV because right. Well, too, there's fake negativity in TV as well, right? And I love movies. Right. I love movies. I love certain shows, but I feel that I can only take it in at so much. I only have so much capacity room, right? I only have so much gauge that I can allow it to come in, and then I'm like, okay, I'm at full capacity for all this kind of energy. I got to turn it off.
Yeah, and you know what? The way you guys were speaking on that, like, it's so true. What's the first thing? It don't matter if you're 50 or you're, whatever. Even some young teenagers turn on the news, but that's the thing that you see all this negative shit, and then you go outside and you're like, you go out, you might go out angry, like, man, ain't nobody gonna do that to me or jack me or some shit like. You know, let me
I
take an
feel
extra
like
clip or
TV
whatever the
does
hell it
that
may be.
too. You know, you watch some things and you ever, okay, here's a good one. And this proves it. You ever watch a show where you're watching the show, you're invested, right? You're watching all of the episodes and it comes to an end and you feel sad.
Oh, I just had a
You're
conversation about that
right.
this
So you
morning
feel
about a
sad
show.
or you're upset.
Right.
Or
right,
you're angry about what happened, or you miss the person.
Just had a
right?
conversation about that this morning. I actually
You're
got
like,
a
I
message.
really fucking miss these people. You
Right,
felt connected to them. It's the same thing.
Right.
So you have to have you have to put a limit on it, I personally believe, because if you don't, it's going to affect you. And you don't even know these fucking people, right? This isn't even a real event that happened.
Right. Or
But
you'll try to stretch it out. Like the conversation I had was like, oh, this is the last season. And I think it was the original Vampire Diaries. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
And, so they were like, "Oh, this is the last season, and it sucks or whatever." I guess there's another like a spinoff or something. So that person was like, "Oh, I hope it's as good as the other one." So you just want more, but I get your point.
Yeah, and it's okay. I'm not saying it's not okay. I'm not saying it's not okay to watch TV or it's not okay to watch these shows and be like, "Oh, that was awesome," and this happened, or believe in things that you're watching gladiator stuff or you're watching medieval things that aren't existent now, right? But I believe with everything, it's moderation, and you have to understand that these things do have an effect on you. They do emit a certain frequency for you, and they create an emotion in you that sometimes can create sadness or anxiety or hurt or anger or and happiness. They can create happiness as well. It can create it all. So you have to be careful with that. But yeah, so that's my outlook on. That's why I don't watch TV, and I'll watch. I prefer to watch a movie over a show. I feel like in like commercials, I don't fall into any of that anymore. I just don't have any capacity for that in my life anymore. And if you do, it's okay. I don't. Another thing is a show will come on. I have programmed myself to not retain it. And it's kind of annoying if you're talking to me and you want to talk about the show and damn well I watched it and I'm like, I have no fucking clue, right? Because I literally flip a switch and I choose not to retain any of it. And I've noticed that about myself. I'm like, oh, fuck, don't I remember what happened? I just watched this. Right. So, but it's just, I think that came along with when I had my when I started my spiritual journey, and I thought to myself, okay, I need to omit some things that are making me feel bad or that are sucking me in, right? Because it's not even just making me feel bad. Sometimes it sucks you in and it's an escape for you to ignore the reality that's going around you. I'm just going to go ahead and turn on the TV and watch 5 fucking hours of TV at one time. 5 hours. Like, when you say it like that, you're like, 5 people really watch 5 hours at a time? And they do, right? We've all done it. Some of us still do it, right? But when I sit back and think,
2 football games back to back, I mean, you're sitting there 6 hours and shit.
Right. And when you think, you're like, what
I'm
I
good
could have
after
did
watching
for 5
one
hours?
Lions game. I'm good.
Yeah, I could have got a lot of
done.
shit done in 5 hours, or I could have, I could have.
Why did I even watch this shit? I could have got everything done and came back and watched something later on.
I think that too. It struck with me was like I could be doing some kind of self-care for 5 hours.
You could you're just like I could be doing something way better.
So
than this shit.
yeah. For
real.
Right. Or I could be pretending that I was a scientist and not a comedian like Joe Rogan. Like Joe Rogan, did you see that?
Affirmations again or something, whatever.
Yeah, all of that. So that's my thoughts on the tube.
Just trying to figure out. We got banned.
Because we're rebels.
Of course we did.
For 24 hours, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I seen something the other day, and I was like, "What do we do now?"
We're banned on Facebook.
Yeah, just saying it was removed.
Oh, so would they just cut us?
From something. I'm trying to figure out this content. We want to help you keep your group safe. Blah blah blah. Member violation. I don't even know.
What did I say?
Something he said. I don't know.
I'm about to lose my lash hair, guys. My eyes are watering so bad. If you see my eyelash fall off, please don't.
I don't know what the violation was for. Facebook.
Shit's all fucked up.
What we
when you get on, like when you get on, sometimes you're like, I'm just a fucking mess.
I'm a fucking mess.
It's not
today.
funny, but it is funny.
It is. I can feel it. I can feel it moving. I'm like, I need some glue. I normally don't wear strips, but my eyes have been so bad.
Oh, it's something. It was something that I don't understand. It was two different removal. One from a friend of mine posted something, and then one from what we posted.
Give me a second, guys. I think someone is at my door.
Okay.
Somebody's at his door.
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock.
Hello, housekeeping. You want sake fucky? Oh, let me stop before we get banned on everything.
Says you cannot go live.
When we get banned, does it tell you?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what it says. It says a 24-hour ban, but I don't know why.
I swear, we always be in jail.
I don't know why.
Haters.
I think it was for. I'm trying to figure this shit out, but
no. So our Facebook viewers, hey, they can't see us.
No, I think they can.
Okay.
I just don't know what was closed because I'm able to post on my page. I think. Yeah.
Well, keep it moving. It's odd.
I don't know. I don't know what we said or whatever, but all right, well, we'll move on with the show.
You're always saying something.
No, I don't know what was said that
we didn't, you never know. It's always something.
Yeah, it's a 24-hour something,
Figure it out after.
Yeah. Oh, maybe because I can't go live. I don't know.
We need. So I saw somebody else they did a list and they printed it out and laminated it of all the words you should avoid while broadcasting. And I know it sounds crazy because we would literally have to memorize these words and train ourselves not to say them or these topics, but maybe that's what we need to do.
So it says I can't go live.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So we're not live on Facebook right now, just on YouTube?
I don't know. It didn't cut off the streams.
Okay.
I don't know where Alex went. Somebody was at his door. All right, so we'll continue.
My mom said she can hear and see us.
Okay, so I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, she can hear us. Let's move on.
All right, former Trump advisor Steve Bannon. This is huge. Was indicted by federal grand jury in contempt of Congress. Washington former Trump advisor Steve Bannon was indicted by federal grand jury Friday, charging him with contempt of Congress for refusing to answer questions from the House committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot. So this is pretty big because if he's been indicted, it's just a matter of time for someone's knocking at Trump's door. So I don't know.
And this was in regards to the riot at the Capitol?
Yeah.
What did he refuse to do?
I think he was refused to answer any questions. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot that happened that day. So.
Was it a Jehovah? Was it a Jehovah?
Hey, Alex.
Jehovah. No, it's just my neighbor.
Do they want to answer questions about what happened at the Capitol riot?
Yeah.
You missed our topic. It's okay.
Oh, my neighbor.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to play it. Right here. Hold on, let me play it. Hold on.
Yeah, if he's being indicted, there's some stuff going on there.
Yeah, he's getting indicted.
Surprise.
Don't be so happy about it, man. Yeah.
As he should be, though. They put a lot of people's lives in danger that day. So.
A lot of people's lives.
There's some questions that need to be answered. And if he's refusing, what's that say?
Here, Alex, this is your neighbor knocking.
Beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine?
Would you be mine?
Could you be mine?
I still haven't seen that movie. Have you guys seen the
I never seen it.
Tom Hanks?
No, I wanted to see it, but someone I know saw it and they said they cried the entire time, and it was not long. Like, yeah, it was. I was really going through some shit. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Now part of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona.
I don't. Yeah, like I always say, I was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the movies and watch the movie to cry and shit. And like,
they said it was
me,
good.
I'm a cancer, my crying ass and shit.
I'm a cancer too. We'd be a whole hot mess up in that bitch.
But yeah, I want to go laugh and.
Yeah, but so I got a question because I don't, I remember the show. That wasn't really a Mr. Rogers.
They said it was good.
I was more I was more Sesame Street.
Okay.
And Big Bird got his vaccination the other day.
I was both. Yeah.
But I know in being in Detroit,
Mr. Dress Up.
Mr. Dress Up. Like, you know what I mean? I never watched Mr. Dress Up.
Damn,
but
really?
Tickle Trump, man.
A good of a friend of mine, Alex's good friend and my ex-wife, they would always talk about Mr. Dress Up, and I'm like,
that was the shit.
Hell yeah, I wanted to see
Mr. Dress Up was the shit.
Treehouse and shit.
Yeah.
Show the treehouse, I started bugging out, man. Like, oh my god, everything's tiny. What the fuck?
No, Josh,
Mr. Kid, you're amazed by that shit when you're like 8 years old, 7 years old.
Yeah, that was my jam. All of that.
I'm over here watching. See, we were being brainwashed then, watching fucking Canadian channels and shit.
See, I watched. I was more of a Captain Kangaroo guy. Maybe because I'm older.
Yeah,
my sister used to talk about that. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, it's because you're older. I didn't really watch that.
Yeah.
It's because you're old. No, just kidding.
Don't know that one. Good to say that sometimes. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, I know about it, but not really my jam. You were my jam.
Creepy.
Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, Mr. Dress Up. Yeah, those are my jams. Sesame Street was my jam too. Fraggle Rock.
Damn, Fraggle Rock. Oh
that was my shit. Yeah.
Rainbow Bright.
The Magic School Bus, shit like that. Rainbow Bright. Love me some Rainbow Bright.
My dad said he used
Strawberry Shortcake.
No,
come home.
Throw my sister's dolls around. She had those dolls.
I love me Strawberry Shortcake. I whoop your ass. You blow my shit.
That was mean.
My Little Ponies.
My Little Ponies.
Cabbage Patch Kids.
Oh my god.
I still got my Cabbage Patch doll. She's been through some shit, but
hell no.
Her name is Hannah. I just got my tissue.
What's her sign?
What's her sign? Her name was Hannah Victoria.
Was it?
Just pull that shit off, Tori.
I'm not pulling it off.
Pull them motherfuckers off.
My eye I keep putting one tear. Do you see it going down my face?
No.
Yeah.
My dad.
I'm gonna see Dom's arm come in and just be like, put a cup underneath you or something.
To run home from school to watch a show or listen to a show on the radio, and I'm trying to think what it's called.
There you go. I can't see your eyes.
Can't even think what it's called, but it was like a little puppet. Not Hee Haw. I'm trying to think of the TV show.
Hee Haw.
Radio show. Used to run to listen to that show.
I don't know.
I forgot.
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Little puppet. So, I didn't pay attention, but Michigan activists who promoted the use of violence resistance against the Israeli announced running for Congress. So a Michigan activist who promoted the use of violence against Israel announced that she'll be running for Congress. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Hadwa Arafa will be running for Michigan 10th Contract District as a Democrat seat currently held by a Republican. So she was promoting violence in Michigan against the Israelis, and now she's going to run for Congress.
Oh.
Already then.
She's a Palestinian American activist. So she's in Michigan.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Promoting violence.
Yeah.
So guess what? Brittany is free.
Free Brittany.
Free
yes, awesome.
Brittany's free at last.
Let the fuckery begin. No, I'm just
kidding. Her end
it's already beginning. Shit.
Yeah. So how long before she's in Playboy? She said that she wants to get back to making music. What's next for Brittany? Alex, what do you think? She's gonna be butt naked somewhere?
Whatever she wants to do, man. Who knows?
Yeah, I think she's gonna
maybe
be
another album or something. Maybe somewhere. I don't know. I don't know what's in her to-do list, but that's cool. She's free.
Well, her dad was her manager too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So she's like her everything. So hopefully she's got a good team behind her.
13 years. This has been a.
Yeah.
I called me this morning. He goes, man, let me control her money now. I was like, okay.
Oh my God. He said that.
Yeah, he said, I will control her money.
No, I just hope that
is she doing a prenup with the boyfriend?
I mean, I would hope so. I would hope so.
Yeah.
No idea.
I would hope that just because she's free doesn't mean she doesn't have lawyers. Like, she still has the lawyers, the team of advisors and all that. So I hope that they, will guide her the right direction. She can get a good management team and,
fresh start.
Yeah, she just needs a fresh start. I hope she just doesn't start acting fucking crazy.
No more oops, I did it again,
Oops.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to see some nudes.
I know, that's why I said that.
There's definitely going to be some nudes.
Or it ain't no oops.
I think we had this conversation. I thought she had a better body.
No, Brittany has a little boyish body.
She's
just not curvy. Like, she's not bad. She's very, she's petite. She's got a square torso. She's always had those kind of boy hips, like, kind of thing. If you look at her from a different angle, they're kind of square. But she's not, her body's not terrible. Like, she don't have a Christina Aguilera body.
Right.
She don't got a J-Lo body, right? She don't got a Coke bottle, some women, they just have that natural shape, no matter what size they are, small or larger, right? Jessica Simpson, hot and, was hot, skinny and thick, right? She just has that shape. So, Brittany, Brittany's Brittany. She's her own. Her tits aren't real big. People always thought her boobs are bigger. She wears a lot of push-up bras. A lot of her outfits are. Yeah, well, a lot of her outfits are padded costumes. So when half of it is padding underneath, the top is going to look like you got more because that's where all her tit is at.
Right.
But I mean, she's proportioned well for her size. She's not a big framed person. I think she'd look funny if she had big old fake tits.
Yeah.
I think she'd look funny.
She's not going out to do Kim and getting the big
Honestly, if Brittany had big old fake tits, I think she'd look Trailer Parkish. She just, no. I don't think
it's what was the story you talked about?
She's good. She's good the way she is.
Gene Simmons, politics, the unvaccinated, the enemies. Saying the unvaccinated are enemies.
Walking amongst us.
Yeah. You really think that? You really feel that?
I mean, do you have the full statement in front of you? I don't have I don't have one phone today.
Let me. Here it goes right here. I'll play it.
Okay.
But don't believe this. 5 million human beings have died from COVID. I know that there are flat earth society people who believe that, and people who believe in all sorts of things. They died because they were fat or because they smoked. No, bitch. They died because they got COVID. And there are still a lot of people who don't believe that. And you have to find out who those people are. I don't care if you play football or not. Stay away from evil people who don't care about your health.
Yeah, it's perplexing. This seems pretty much black and white, not a political game on what side you're on.
It has become political. Unfortunately, the far left and the far right are both evil. They both spread all kinds of nonsense. I don't like either one of them. Politics are the enemy. Humanism and humanity is what we should all be concerned about. Love thy neighbor as thyself. For God's sakes, if I'm going to yawn in your presence, I'm going to put my hand up in front of my mouth. Yawning is not a life-threatening event. You having COVID might be a life-threatening event, and I don't want to catch it. Unfortunately, our European friends and other friends around the world, I prefer friends to fans, because it's really become sort of like a family. Couldn't come as easily on the cruise because you had to have been vaccinated. I don't care about your political beliefs. You are not allowed to infect anybody just because you think you've got rights that are delusional, of course. You don't have the right to go through a red light. Actually, the government has the right to tell you to stop. You have to put on a seatbelt. If they tell you you can't smoke in a building, you can't smoke in a building. And that's not because they want to take away your rights. It's because the rest of us hate it. We don't want to smell your smoke. I don't want to catch your disease. I don't risk my life just because you want to go through a red light. This whole idea, this delusional, evil idea that you get to do whatever you want and the rest of the world be damned is really terrible. We got to identify those people and bring them out into the open so you know who they are.
Right.
You know who your friends are by how much they care about you.
Amen to that.
That's pretty powerful.
Damn. He done shut that whole thing down. He said, no, bitch. I like the way he talks. That's my favorite thing. No, bitch. He nailed it, though. He really did. And man, I don't really think there's much more I can say after that. He hit it right on the head. Fucking, he really did. Mic drop.
Mic drop. So, Mark Anthony assisted a couple engagement proposal on stage. He brought him on stage, trying to get the video to play. Let's see if it plays. We got Peacock. Peacock.
I don't know if that's what a peacock sounds like.
Paris. Oh my God! So Paris Love is going to be her new show. So it's going to talk about her wedding, I guess.
Who?
Paris Hilton. She's got a new show.
You know what? I just spoke that into existence. I swear I did. I was just having a conversation with Tommy the other day. We were talking about her. We're like, where the fuck did she go? She used to be that shit back in the day. And that's when Kim started doing the sex tapes, because she was probably like, I need to be in the limelight too, right? She was in Paris's coattails, and then Paris kind of just disappeared. And I said, I think she's getting married, or I don't know. She needs to pop back up. And then bam, here she comes out the woodwork.
Yeah, but before that show, she was out there doing
with Nicole Richie.
Shit. Yeah. No, I'm saying she was just recently
yeah.
She was just recently doing some positive work. I mean,
yeah. Well, that's what I said. I said she's not in that negative. She took herself out of that kind of negative space where people were looking at her in a different way. But I said she needed to come back, because she can make some shit happen, and then bam, here she comes. I spoke that into existence. I think
that train wreck.
I'm gonna need a check. That train wreck? That's a good question. What happened to her?
Here you go. Here's the Mark Anthony.
¿Tu nombre? A sus órdenes, pero no le responda.
Oh, shit. That's awesome.
pretty amazing. But I got to be honest with you, Mark Anthony looks like he needs to eat a couple sandwiches.
He's a little guy.
He's a little guy.
He's a little guy. He's always been a little guy.
I think Jennifer Lopez got tired of him because she was like, "Well, I'm the one always throwing you on the bed, honey."
Yeah, I heard he put the motion in the ocean during that time.
Ocean in the motion.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the question.
He a Latin lover.
Alex, I gotta ask you a question. Come on now, you're gonna have to answer this, okay? For all your fans out there, all your fans.
Oh shit! Drum roll.
Have you ever tried to perform fellatio on yourself?
Let me think. Let me go back.
Y'all dying for these eyelashes to come off today, aren't you? You really trying?
No, I have not.
Well, Joe Rogan says he can suck his own dick.
Joe Rogan would say some dumb.
That's okay. Well, my first,
I don't.
Alex, my first reaction when I heard it,
unless he's calling UFC, I don't listen to. Pay attention to that guy.
I said, so clearly he's tried and he's done it, and because who says such a fucking thing like that?
Right.
He knows what he's doing, man. Joe Rogan knows what he's doing. Just he knows how to stay out there, and I guess stay relevant with some bullshit like that, but.
How about this? Even if your dick was big enough that it came up a certain way, what are you doing? Why are you trying to reach down like that?
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
What are you doing right there? Why, you really got to be, motherfucker, come on. Your dick is not no 12 inches.
No, I don't want to watch UFC. What the fuck?
Check this out. Here you go.
That's nothing compared to how my cousin Walter died.
How did he die?
He broke his neck. He broke his neck trying to suck his own dick.
He broke his neck by sucking his own dick.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so I don't even know how that's even possible. But I just want to know, do you stare at your balls and let me try it? And you get in this.
Well, doesn't your rib cage get in the way when you try to do that?
I don't know.
The only other option I could think is somebody was bending him over and had him in a pretzel, and that's how they got their crotch to his face. And thank you. You guys, you're welcome for that visual. Because they put his feet over his own shoulders. Like how?
A lot of yoga.
Yoga, yeah, yoga. I mean, you can. He's pretty flexible when
he's not ordinary Joe Blow. Joe Rogan says he has flexible and capability of performing oral sex on himself.
That's disgusting. He's not the ordinary Joe Blow. I hope not, because I hope nobody I date trying to suck their own dick.
Well, enough with Joe Rogan. I'll give you a good transition. I'm sure Julia the Hurricane Hawkins is flexible at 105 years old.
Aww.
That's a crazy ass story right there.
It is. Tell us about it.
105-year-old runner created a new age bracket for the 100 meter and set the record.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome.
They got that picture of her. She's all in motion. That shit looks crazy.
She looks crazy.
She's flying. She's speed walking demon.
I hope I get 100 meter at 105.
That picture looks crazy. 105. Wow.
I'm living at 114.
She can run faster than me. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. You said she looked crazy.
So this is going on in the United States. I know I was talking to a guy that works at Cox, which is the cable company. I think that the second or third largest cable company in the country. A lot of people, because they don't want to get vaccinated, are just quitting. I knew a guy. I was like, "Hey, you're gonna quit?" And he's like, "Yeah, they want me to opt out, either say it's religion or health." And I didn't find God yesterday, so I'm just gonna quit. So a record 4.4 million Americans are quitting jobs as a Great Resignation gathers in momentum, and basically the total number of quitting rose by 164,000 in September to a record high 4.4 million, according to Labor Department job opening labor turnover survey. Americans have been quitting the jobs droves. Recent months of the pandemic has caused many of them related to their careers. Some workers are seeking the ability to work from home, while others are lured by higher pay. and others just don't want to get vaccinated because of the mandate. You know, I think I saw a post.
It's a tug of war
from a buddy, from a guy that said, I guess that's 20 years flushed down the drain. I wasted 20 years at my job because he didn't want to get vaccinated. Now, keep in mind, that's your own thing. That's whatever you want to do. But you're going to quit your job after 20 years because you don't want to get vaccinated? I don't know. I'm really struggling with that whole thing. I recently, did an interview, and they were telling me, like, are you vaccinated? I said, fuck yeah, I'm vaccinated. I even got my booster. What's up? And they were like, oh, wow, okay. So, I don't know.
I mean, it goes back to the care about yourself or care about we thing, personally. So, yeah, you want to let 20 years go because you have no regard for other human life, and that just shows a lot of who you are. I will say this though. I will say this. Yeah, exactly. Or for yourself. I don't agree with it, but if I knew that you chose to quit over throwing the religion card, I'd respect you a little bit more. That's a honorable thing to do, because if you're going to be a whole asshole, be a whole piece of shit, right? Commit to being a piece of shit. Go all the way. Be 100%.
My buddy,
right?
Like,
instead of being a piece of shit that's lying and sneaking and endangering other lives even more so. So I can go ahead and say that, you know what, I would respect you more knowing that you just said, fuck it. I'm not doing none of that than saying, oh, I found God and I'm going to temple tomorrow.
Oh, so is that a dig at Aaron Rodgers? I lied. I was immunized, not vaccinated.
Right. But I mean, it's truth. Wouldn't you, if you knew somebody said, oh, I found God and it's against my religion, and and you knew damn well that they're fucking lying, I wouldn't. I'd lose. Even though I had no respect for you already, I think it would go negative at that point.
Right.
Like, don't be a liar. Don't be a dumbass and a liar. Just be a dumbass.
A woman climbs over a barrier near a Brooklyn Zoo lion exhibit, throws money in the air.
What is this?
Jesus.
This afternoon, it shows a woman in a blonde wig inside the lion's enclosure. Witnesses say that woman jumped over the railing past where she was supposed to be with 24 roses in hand and approached the animal as if it were a long-lost friend.
She's like, King, I love you. You know, I came back for you.
We spoke with the woman whose husband shot that cell phone video. They were there with their 2 sons. She did not want to be identified.
It was surreal. Let's say that.
Yeah. It was a bizarre moment, but not an unfamiliar one. 2 years ago, a woman named Maya Autry went into the very same enclosure and appeared to taunt the lion, dance for them. We showed Autry's Instagram account to the witness on the phone, and she thinks it is the same person.
Wow, that's crazy.
Autry now has blonde hair on her Instagram page.
I can't believe she did it again, or if it is even her, but it's I don't know what
Autry was charged with criminal trespass the last trip here. A Bronx Zoo spokesperson tells us tonight onlookers alerted staff, but she was gone by the time they got there.
I don't know about you, but I'm not jumping into a fucking lion.
But you know what?
Okay,
I shouldn't make a joke like that, because
does she believe that this animal has been reincarnated? Like this was a human that was reincarnated into an animal? I feel like there's a deeper story here. Because why would she have done it in the first place, right? And now it's her again? She got something. There's something going on.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Okay, so am I just okay? How about this?
Holy shit.
I'm not saying that like this is a true thing and she's right, but did you notice the lion didn't attack her?
Yeah.
The lion didn't even move. It's kind of like the lion knew her.
He's probably thinking like, I'm about to eat you. You are a dumb motherfucker right now.
What if he knew her? What if he was reincarnated? What? gonna go ahead with the crazy lady. I'm gonna be on the crazy lady side for a second.
Maybe she'll come back. Maybe she'll
What
do it again.
if they knew each other in a past life? She brought roses. I don't know. I think there's more. I think there's more to it. She called him her king.
You got to call on the phone. Caller, are you jumping into the lion's den to wave at the lion to get a closer look?
No, I am not.
Okay, Brittany is free. Do you have your Brittany shirt on? Oops, I did it again.
I am not wearing a Britney shirt.
Okay.
Damn.
I guess you don't have nice tits. What's going on, man? How are you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling fantastic. So this is the one and only Tony Twist, and I'm calling to talk about all things wrestling podcast, which is tomorrow morning.
What time is it on?
Hey, yo.
I know it doesn't fit the criteria that you guys are talking about. You guys are talking about Joe Rogan giving himself heads and all kinds of crazy shit on. We don't talk about crazy
balance.
nonsense.
We like the balance.
Well, Joe Rogan wants to come on your show, and he wants to give fellatio to everybody, I guess.
Well, that's fantastic.
What kind of wrestling move would that be called?
Figure 4.
Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern.
There it is.
I will be there.
You guys talking about COVID. You guys talking about COVID vaccines again. Unfortunately, political shit has now made its way over to wrestling, and some wrestlers were released recently because of their vaccination status. So we'll be talking about that bullshit tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
What's your thoughts when you hear an Aaron Rodgers says he was vaccinated or he was immunized and not vaccinated, and he put his whole team at risk, but the media is not riding him like a Kyrie Irving that said, "Hey, I'm not getting vaccinated. I'm going to sit home. So fuck you." Is it because he's white and he can do what he wants, and Green Bay is okay? They slapped him with a $15,000 fine. The NFL slapped Green Bay with a $30,000 fine and said it's okay. It's okay.
Well, I mean, when you work for the NFL or a professional football team, or you're a professional wrestler and you're in close contact with other people on a daily basis, I think, having the vaccine as a mandate for a team is different than for like a corporation, because depending on what your job is, football or NBA player, they're breathing all over everybody. They're sweating all over. Yeah, they definitely should be vaccinated, because they're endangering their teammates. They're endangering, their teammates' families. I mean, there's a whole thing. But, if I'm sitting in a cubicle 8 hours a day and I don't see anybody, I don't think there should be a forced vaccination here.
So did he
lie? But a professional wrestler who
did
somebody
he lie?
What?
Did he lie? He said he didn't lie.
He lied.
If he said he was immunized, that means he got his shots when he was a kid.
Wow.
Right. Exactly. And he knew exactly. He knew when he said that what he meant by that, and how he, he was advised to say that loophole. But you're absolutely right. There, you're spreading bodily fluids and sweat and breathing and touching and contact, right? Full contact sports.
Right.
You're absolutely right. It should be mandatory.
Yeah, it definitely should be mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll save the political conversations for your guys' show. We don't get political on our show.
All right. All right. Thanks for checking in.
Tune in tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about AEW Full Gear and King Roman Reigns. We'll be discussing that tomorrow.
Hey, yes.
Head of the table.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks for calling.
So tonight, David Benavidez versus Kyrone Davis. It's going to be a good fight tonight. It's a super multi-weight championship. Winning that fight, Alex?
I'm sticking with Benavidez, man. He's 24-0, 21 KOs. It'll be 22 KOs after the night. So, I'm going with Benavidez. He's too good.
Yeah, he's good.
Good.
It's
going to be a good fight.
Yeah.
So you got Michigan squaring off today. U of M versus Penn State. Michigan number 6, 8-1. Penn State is 6. Huh?
What is the point? I thought they said it was like a 2-point.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
Okay.
So who you? Hopefully, Michigan wins this game, but
yeah, keep it rolling.
Keep it rolling.
I got some Penn State fan friends out there, so.
Oh.
Yeah, they love, and they're from Michigan, but they love them some Penn State.
So you got the Detroit Red Wings. They're not bad. They're over 500. One game over. 7-6. They played the Canadiens tonight. So
didn't they just lose to them the other day or no?
Yeah, they did.
5-1 or something.
They're 7-6. Hey, you can't. Hey, they're better than last year so far.
Yeah,
so.
I mean they're scoring, man. They can score. It's just that word consistency again. So they just got to find that, Still young, but yeah. Hey, if they can stay afloat, that's good, man. Just like I always say, get in the playoffs, just get some experience because that'll go a long way. So for the next season, so.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to the NBA. Detroit Pistons are sucky 2-9. They played the Toronto Raptors. They played the Toronto Raptors tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. It is what it is, man. Cade Cunningham, he had a good game winner the other day, so it was good to see that. But yeah, that's a whole different story right there.
Tori, you weren't on the show Wednesday, but this young high school student sucker punched this other girl in the face, and I guess she's a daughter of an NBA player, a former NBA player.
What?
Yeah, so NBA player apologized for her daughter brutally sucker punching other girl during the game. Former NBA player.
Oh, is that the video I saw?
Yeah.
Former NBA player Corey Benjamin, who played for the Bulls and the Hawks during the short tender in the league, has apologized for his daughter's accident during the recent youth basketball at Orange County. It was pretty brutal.
Are you going to play it?
Yeah, I'll play it for you. Hold on, let me find it.
I think I caught the end of the video with somebody laying on the ground.
I don't want to look at it again. I'm going to turn my head.
Is it that bad?
Just anything like that is horrible. Just the fact that they're going to fall down and hit their head again is just like.
You want us not to play it? We don't have to play it.
It's horrible, man.
I didn't
Especially when you're walking away and usually those punches are thrown from behind.
What?
You know what I mean? It's like, you kill somebody. I mean, and that girl was like,
they were girls.
The girl that threw the punch was like twice the other girl's size almost. Like,
why did she punch her?
Because they got tangled up. They just got tangled up and shit. Because of something that happens like 100 times in the game.
I was going to say, that happens a lot. That happens a lot in basketball. They get tangled up. Football too. Hockey, all those sports.
Run your ass back down the court.
Yeah, get your ass back down the court. Everybody kind of gets tangled in a little jumble and
that kid needs to go to anger management.
Oh my goodness!
She didn't even do anything. She jumped up and she was just standing behind her. That wasn't even a tangle up. Yeah, that girl needs to go to. She needs some charges pressed against her and some anger management
for sure.
That's insane. She jumped up to make a shot, and the girl just happened to be standing there. She came down on her. Honestly, that was her own damn fault.
Right.
And wow. So her dad, who did her dad play for?
The Hawks and the Bulls. Corey Benjamin.
Yeah, there's some something going on with that girl.
Yeah, he apologized. So.
Yeah, she needs some charges pressed. She needs to be removed from sports.
So there was a huge upset on Thursday's game. The Miami Dolphins stunned the Baltimore Ravens, upset in victory. Did you watch that game, Alex? That was a pretty good game.
No, I didn't.
That was a pretty good game. The Lions play the Steelers tonight. Tomorrow, Lions are 0-8. Steelers are 5-3. It looks like they got -8. So it looks like another loss in the loss column for the Lions.
Yeah, I mean they might have a fighting chance, but I don't see them pulling it out.
You never know. Fighting.
I don't see them winning it.
I had my Lions hat on, and then I took it off at the last minute. I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not wearing this today."
So I picked the game for tomorrow. I picked the Patriots versus the Browns. They got the same record. I thought it was good. I think it would be a pretty good game.
For sure.
What's your pick for tomorrow, Alex?
I'm gonna go with the Lions, man.
Oh wow, the Lions!
Really?
If they get a win, I mean it'll have to be tomorrow, but only if they can stop Najee Harris. So they're probably not. I'm just gonna throw it out there, anyways. I know the reason I'm throwing it out there is they're coming off a bye week. See what they do. I don't know. Trying to be.
Look, I got my lion blue nail polish. You see it?
Yeah.
It matched my hat, but I took it off. Like I said, I was like, I feel like whenever I start wearing my gear, they just fuck up again. So I'm like, maybe if I don't wear my gear, I got this whole superstition about my gear. Right. I'm like, okay, just don't wear it.
What's your song, Alex?
If you wear it, you're fucking them over.
Down the field, the Lions team that will not yield. And when the blue and silver wave, you stand and cheer the brave.
Not even the song. Made in 1937. 1957, the last year they won the championship.
He's a 37.
Lions victory!
That was from the 2012 playoff push.
So I just got a text. My mom said that girl was involved in another fist fight.
Oh, okay.
This isn't her first time.
There you go.
Huh. Interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and blame the parents right now.
Blame the parents.
You know, she clearly needs some anger management, some therapy. There needs to be some actions that are taken. If this isn't the first incident that she's done, maybe there's some shit going on at home.
Shit. Last story of the day: Odell Beckham Jr. signs with the Rams. Goes to go play with your man. What's your thoughts on that?
Your man.
What the hell? No, more firepower, man. They're going all in, bro. They're trying to win.
Now they don't got to perform fellatio on themselves.
Thing.
So,
as
a fan, as a Stafford fan, because I'm a Stafford fan, I like the guy. I think he's a good quarterback. He's a good person. You know, he's a good husband. How happy would you be, or how sad would you be if he won a Super Bowl?
I mean, we need them to lose. We need them to lose because of that trade. We need them to lose because that affects our draft picks. So for next year. So, I mean, if they lose, and they're not, but the whole it's all or nothing for them. So all that other shit goes out the window, and that's why they just signed Odell Beckham and added. I mean, look at their receiving core. It looks like ours used to look when we had Calvin and Burleson and all them guys. But yeah, I mean, they're going all in, man. So it's all or nothing. As long as the contract, whatever he's there for, 5 years or 4 years. I mean, it's all or nothing every year with them. So that's why they went out and got him. So
yeah, with your man.
That's pretty much all I have. Let's see. Next Wednesday we got DJ Lito. This is Alex's buddy, promoter, DJ.
Nice.
He does a lot of things in Detroit. In the following week, we got should you tell your friend his or her significant other is making sexual advances towards you? That's next Saturday. I'm gonna chop it up Saturday.
Yeah.
Get a little
messy. Don't get a little messy.
Actually, that's pretty much all I have. But if you want to see who is coming up on an upcoming guest, or if you want to subscribe, go to wordonthestreetpod.com. You can go to Word on the Street merch.com to get all your latest hoodies, all kinds of different clothing.
Cop that gear. Cop that gear.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Getting
all.
cold out. It's hoodie season. I'm telling you, I love my hoodies. They're so awesome. They're so soft and keep me warm. Yes, get yourself a word on the street hoodie. It's so warm. Get yourself a word on the street hoodie.
Anything, Alex?
Hell yeah, no. I'm good to go. Everybody have a blessed weekend and stay safe.
And you're gonna watch your show tomorrow.
Don't try to form fellatio on yourself.
Talking about tomorrow. He was saying, what are you guys talking about tomorrow?
All things wrestling.
Bam, all things wrestling.
Right.
What time? What time, Alex? What time?
Is it 9 a.m.? You guys confused me. I'm thinking about what you said earlier. Is it that me and we were talking about that. I was like, that shit is confusing sometimes. I would have to text.
So y'all are 10 a.m. now. Pacific, right?
Yeah, 10. It's 10 o'clock our time.
Pacific. 12
Still
Eastern.
12 my time. Yes, Eastern. Right.
Yeah. So all things wrestling. Tune in.
Yep.
Until then. Everybody be kind to one another and have a great rest of your weekend.
I just want to see Scott Hall on your show. WCW.
Silly.
All of my friends in the back. I'm the medium man. That's the big man in the back. What did he? I forgot.
He said, he used to be like the medium-sized man.
Yeah, the medium-sized man, and they have the big man in the back.
Yeah, I miss those promos.
Yeah.
Fun shit.
You missed those promos? That was some good times. WCW. And he'd be like, Ted, $1 billion Ted.
$1 billion Ted.
Mexican hillbilly.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's all I got. Where can we follow you, Alex?
SportsMile313 on Twitter and Instagram.
Tori, you got anything?
Just be kind to one another. Spread the light, spread the love. Call your mamas.
I do want to give a shout out, like I did on the wrestling show on the show the other day, again to Robert Courtney, my boy Robert Courtney. TEDx talk, killed it. I don't know if you guys watched it.
You know what? Alex, so listen to this real quick. Same topic as the TEDx. So I belong to this group that a group of people who do subscription boxes, right? And because I'm kind of exploring that option right now for myself and dabbling in that and getting some ideas. But anyways, so there's this boy that does subscription boxes, and he was at the TEDx talk as well and spoke alongside Robert. He's 10 or 11 years old, and he does a thing called Books and Popcorn, and it's a subscription box for kids. And if you purchase one of these boxes, part of the proceeds go towards building a library for underprivileged children in Detroit. Okay. And I met his mom, months ago, and I joined this and had no clue that, how powerful this young man is. But yeah, he spoke alongside Robert, and I was like, wow, that's really awesome. He's a young kid, and he is really trying to make a difference in Detroit and providing libraries for kids that, otherwise couldn't get books in their home and be able to read. So, but when I saw he was at the TED Talk, I thought that was really cool.
I know you're talking about. I've seen him on.
You know who I'm talking about?
But
yeah.
I just listened to Rob. I just checked out Rob's speech.
Yeah, but I thought that was really cool that they spoke alongside each other, because his mother was in our group and she was speaking about Robert's story as well. And I was like, wait a second. And so she's like, oh, wow, that's awesome. I thought that the whole event, all the speakers there were very powerful, very amazing.
Yeah, they don't choose just anybody, for sure.
No,
that's why it was such a big deal awesome. for him because that's something he wanted to do. And I didn't know if I was gonna make it, so I didn't want him to send out.
Did you go?
No, I just
watched it online.
I didn't make it. I didn't. No, I couldn't. I didn't want to. he gave everybody the team tickets. So
okay.
I didn't know what else was gonna be going on with me and stuff. So I just didn't. I don't want to waste a ticket when it could have went to somebody else.
I would have totally went if I would have been in Detroit. I wanted to, but I watched online and I saw bits and pieces and yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Rob, man. He's going stronger than ever, and you know, everybody wants to, you know, check out the Ashley Rose Foundation. Once again, it's on you know, you can go on Instagram and just Google it, Ashley Rose Foundation, and you know, you can help, donate, support, share your stories, all that good stuff. So yeah, trust the process.
Trust the process for sure. And if you want to donate to, if you'd like to help fund a child in Detroit's library as well, you can Google and look up Books and Popcorn and get one of those subscription boxes. It's minimal amount per month, or you can just pay in advance. I think it's like $100 for the whole year or something. Okay. And it puts it fills the one child's entire library, and it's awesome. Specifically for the children of Detroit and Southwest Detroit and all of, you know, Wayne County. So I really thought that was just very great. And to see such a young man, right? A child. He's a kid. Yeah. He's literally a baby. I was like, man, if this doesn't motivate you, and then listening to Rob speak and the other speakers, if it doesn't motivate you to get out and make shift happen, then I don't know what will. So
yeah.
Definitely. Sure. Yeah. It was a great event.
All right. You can follow me everywhere at Drink Strip. I think that's pretty much all I got. Let me play this video and then we get out.
Oh, you can follow me too.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
You can follow me. You can follow me, Tori Rochelle, on Facebook, at All Beauty All Beast on Instagram, and The Savage Kitty, that's THEE Savage Kitty on Twitter, and Tori Smooches on Snapchat.
Boom. There you have it. Get that eyelash.
Where's that my face?
You guys are always washing your hands, wearing a mask, and washing your ass. And I'm out.
Oh, shit. Peace out. Love you guys. Be safe. Be safe.
It's out of control over here.